Yes, indeed. You are now rocking with the best. Bro Parrish in the building. The man right next to me is the legend. You know his name. Jesse Holley's in the building. Bleav in the Cowboys. Jesse, Michael Parsons. Studs miss on yet.
Come on, Jerry. We're getting close to the fourth. I got plans. And it doesn't mean being in front of the screen when you decided, let's get it done, man. We got a couple more days. We got the rest of this weekend. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do it then. Because when we get to the weekend, I got plans. And I don't want to come back to this computer because you want to wait till the 4th of July to do it. Let's get it done.
Hey,
what are you waiting on?
We still waiting. That's turned into the running joke on the show. But hey, getting things popping. We know what time it is. It is that time of year where we are anxiously awaiting training camp. Still got a little bit of ways to go before that. A couple of weeks away. But we were sitting around. We were thinking. We're looking at the Cowboys schedule. We already went over that. We know who is playing. We went over all that already. Go ahead, check your podcast. You know, we did that a couple of weeks ago. And by the way, like and subscribe and tell a friend about us. But like I said, it got us to thinking if we could rank the top quarterbacks. You know what? Let's put a number on it. The top 10 quarterbacks that the Cowboys are going to face this year. Jesse, you are the man. You are the pass catcher. You know what good quarterback play looks like. I need to start at number 10. Tell me who is the 10th best quarterback that the Cowboys will face. We're going to go for 10-1. So give me number 10.
I got you, man. And Ro, this is my list. Okay. So for those of you that are watching, feel free to critique my list. Don't bother me, not one bit. But feel free to also make your own list. Put your list in the chat. Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Fourth and Long and put your list up there. I want to see what your list look like. This is my list. This is what I think. And if you don't like it, what I eat don't make you. Shh. All right, so here is my list. And who the Cowboys are facing. This is not the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. This is the top 10 quarterback that the Cowboys are facing in the upcoming season. So for me, this is a quarterback the Cowboys will have to see not once, but 2 times. Well, maybe 2 times this year because they may go to the backup or they may go to their draft pick. But initially, I think he will be the first one out. Number 10 for me, Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson. He has found a new home in New York City after leaving Pittsburgh last year where, not a bad year. Threw for a little under 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. We know when it comes to Russell Wilson, the thing that he has, very intelligent, very smart. He's Mr. Unlimited.
Right.
And he got a nice wife that I don't mind looking at when she's showing up on TV. I'm just saying, no disrespect, Russ, no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? You did your thug thizzle on that. We just all like to admire from a distance. But we know that Russ, he can throw the moon ball, right? That's his pass. He throws that ball up and down. And honestly, bro, he has one of the best deep ball accuracies in the National Football League. So we'll see what he and Brian Daboll can do with that offense in New York this season with the Giants. Now, I said 2 times because, of course, the Cowboys play the Giants 2 times a year. But I also said maybe. Because if things don't go right for Russell Wilson, Jameis is there, and we know that Jameis can throw you in a game. Jameis can throw you out of a game, right? Jameis can throw for 30. He can throw for 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. He gonna give you a great pregame speech. He gonna ask you want to eat some dubs, and if all else fails, you know that you're gonna get something funny out of Jameis Winston. And if Jameis Winston doesn't work out for them, then they can go to their draft pick. The name just got away from me from Ole Miss, Jackson Dart.
Right.
And so Brian Daboll, who I think is a coach that are going to be in the hot seat this year, he has a plethora of quarterbacks. He's hoping that Russell Wilson can keep them afloat. If not, you go to the wild card of Jameis Winston. And when that ship really get to sinking, just go ahead and throw the rookie out there. Let's see what he can do. So at number 10, Russell Wilson.
And got Russell Wilson. Now, I admire that. And we're going to go ahead and go to number 9. And thank you for texting me your list because it gives me a chance to dissect it. Now, your number 9 pick, I myself, again, this is your list, not my list. But on my list, I would have this guy higher, and I'll tell you why before you announce him. Because he has a better record at AT&T Stadium than the Cowboys do. So that's a little lead to let you know who's coming in at number 9.
Number 9, it's the little one. It's Kyler Murray. Arizona Cardinals quarterback. And like you said, yes, he does. He has a better record at AT&T. He is, in the words of the ball daddy of the ball, never lost. He has never lost in AT&T Stadium. Kyler Murray, 38-50 last year, 21 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. But this is the key for Kyler Murray. He rushed for 572 yards and added 5 more touchdowns to his ledger. That's the thing about Kyler Murray. When it all fails and everything breaks down, the little water bug can get out the back end and turn nothing into something. So you always have to have a spy for Kyler Murray. But I just, when you're looking at what that Cardinals offense is, and they got Connor and they got Marvin Harrison, I just think for what this list looks like, Kyler Murray is the number 9 quarterback for me.
All right, so moving forward, going on to number 8, we have a quarterback who not many people expected to have the success that he did coming into his place where he got drafted. So go ahead and announce who is your number 8 quarterback.
Number 8 for me, and this is a guy who I think they found each other. This is who the head coach wanted, so he says. And he went and got him, and it's kind of been a match made in heaven. They worked really well together, and they're looking to take that next step next year. And this is a very, very, very good quarterback, and he's with one of the best offensive coordinators, play designers, head coaches in the National Football League. For number 8 for me, I got Bo Nix. Bo Nix, quarterback for the Denver Broncos, under the tutelage of Sean Payton, who we all know so well from his time here and then facing him all those many years in New Orleans, who we kind of wanted Sean Payton here about a year or so ago before he went to Denver. But listen, I digress nonetheless. They gave Mike McCarthy another year. It's whatever. But Bo Nix last year threw for 3,775 yards, 29 touchdowns to only 12 interceptions. So Bo Nix, if he takes that next step that they're anticipating him taking next year, he can be one of these quarterbacks we look at in the league where he's throwing around 35 touchdowns and hopefully keeping his interceptions around that 10 to 12 mark. He can be one of those guys that come in here and wreck shop on your defense if you don't get to him.
No doubt about it. We know that he was in New Orleans for a long time, won a Super Bowl there, had Drew Brees, had a ton of success. Sean Payton, of course, comes from that Bill Parcells family tree. And a lot of people, like you said, did want him to coach the Cowboys. But like I said, he took a break after he won a Super Bowl in New Orleans, seasons off, then came back. Another coach who won a Super Bowl, who is now coming back to coach the Las Vegas Raiders. That is where we're going for number 7 on your list.
Yes, sir. As he says, they wrote him off, but he did not write back. That was a bar by Geno Smith, who comes in at number 7 on my top 10 list of the quarterbacks that the Cowboys will face this 2025-2026 season. Geno Smith last year, 4,320 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Geno Smith is one of these guys who he came into the league as a high draft pick, got kind of stuck in New York in that whirlwind of a mess that was the New York Jets, and he kind of bounced around, and he found a home in Seattle and raised his stock, and then I think he got traded to the Raiders, and they're looking to have that stable quarterback. And I like Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith is a very, very, very solid quarterback in this league. And I think that he is number 7 for Geno Smith on my list sits pretty well from what the other guys that I have on this list.
So, of course, we are now believing in the Cowboys. You know what time it is. Parrish and Jesse Holley going over the top 10 quarterbacks that the Cowboys will face this season. So far, we have Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Bo Nix, and Geno Smith. Those are our top quarterbacks so far, starting at 10 at 7. So now we're staying in the same division. We talked about the Raiders. We know that they're in the AFC West. And that division right there, you talk about some quarterbacks, but also you have some top coaches as well. But I digress. Let's focus on the next quarterback who might be arguably the best athlete on this list.
When you talk about what is a prototypical NFL quarterback, what he should look like, this person comes to mind. The height, the size, the speed, and the arm talent. It is absolutely phenomenal. It is one of the best. And arguably, you can have the conversation and the argument that it might be the best arm talent in the National Football League. He can make all the throws. He looks the part. He kind of has a little bit of that, that Dak thing in him where they just can't get over the hump. They can't don't quite curl all the way over for this particular quarterback. But he sits at number 6 on my list the LA Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert, who last year he threw for 3870 yards, 23 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Justin has always been one of those guys who I've admired the mechanical tools that he possesses. He is the prototypical everything when it comes to the quarterback. Like I said, the size, the height, the width, the speed, the ability to get in and out of the pocket, the mentality. And of course, he has a cannon for an arm. So Justin Herbert is 6 for me on this top 10 list for the Cowboys quarterback that they'll face this upcoming season.
I mean, when you talk about somebody like Justin Herbert, I mean, we know he has an absolute gun. That cannon that he has is ridiculous. But don't sleep, because if you're playing zone, or if you're playing man coverage and you take your eyes out of the backfield, he might be out of there. He'll take it to the house with the quickness. Another quarterback that will take it to the house with the quickness, you know him very well. We've seen him from the beginning when he came in, wore one number, switched to another number. Next thing you know, he's in the Super Bowl doing his thing. So I kind of gave you a hint there. Where are we going?
At number 5, and I think this is what people are going to have a little bit of a disagreement just because of their sheer hate for the team. And I say hate, I don't use that word loosely when it comes to Cowboy fans and this team that they hate. And so some fans are like, oh, no. But number 5 for me is Jalen Hurts. We know what Jalen Hurts is capable of. And yes, he may not be the prototypical quarterback that you look at, the stature, the arm talent, but he plays in a system that is suitable and it works for him. It's another guy the Cowboys will see twice a year. Yes, you get that running back, that running game with Saquon Barkley, but Jalen Hurts, another quarterback, he doesn't put the ball in dangerous situations, right? And he has a great duo on the outside with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And last year, Jalen Hurts threw for 2,900 yards, 18 touchdowns in the air, just to 5 interceptions. But another one of his superpowers is he rushed for 630 yards and added 14 touchdowns. Now, I know people are going to say, well, it was the tush push. Well, the tush push ain't going nowhere this year. So they'll be able to bring that back one more time. And that's another component that Jalen Hurts gives at 630 yards rushing. He is a tough dude to bring down. He plays winning brand of football. He's not going to wow you with all the arm talent, but where he lacks in arm talent, he makes up in his speed. He makes up in his running ability. He makes up in his situational awareness. So for me, at number 5 is the Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
I love Jalen Hurts. I love everything about him when he is on the field and off the field. Coming in, he's a quarterback that I know a lot of people compare to Dak Prescott as far as coming in as a later round pick, not necessarily being designated the starter originally, but taking the job over and then having success. And both Dak and Jalen come from the Derek Jeter schools, where they do not get in any trouble off the field. They play the game. They say the right thing every time. And I love that. And I'm probably sure that some Cowboys fans might wish that they had Jalen at times instead of Dak. But I'm not even going to go there at this point. That's number 5 on your list. I would have had Jalen high, but again, this is your list, not mine. We're going to number 4, the top 10 quarterbacks that the Cowboys will face this season.
Yes, and number 4 for me, this comes out of the Motor City. He is the quarterback for the Fighting Dan Campbells, the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff. Now, he has an uphill battle this year because he had a lot of his success under the guidance and tutelage of Ben Johnson, my former teammate, who is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. So now it's going to be Jared Goff having to now take this next journey without the coordinator that he's had for the last couple of years in Detroit. But this thing's all about the vibes in Detroit, right? Dan Campbell has brought the vibes up in Detroit, and they'll just kind of keep chugging away. Jared Goff last year, 4,630 yards, 37 touchdowns to just 12 interceptions, and he brings all of his weapons back. He has that offensive line that's arguably one of the best, if not the best, in the National Football League. You got Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield, and then you have Sam Laporta at tight end, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jameson Williamson who can take the top off. So all the pieces are still in place for Detroit and Jared Goff to have another successful season. And Man Campbell, they got 4 downs to do it because they don't punt. They are one of the 4 most leaders in the league with going forward on 4th down. So, when your defense think, we got to get the 4th down to get off the field. Not if you're playing Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. You got to play 4 downs of football because they're probably going for it. So number 4 on my list is Jared Goff.
I'm interested to see how the Lions are going to perform without Ben Johnson. That offense was absolutely ridiculous last season, not only with this efficiency, not only with the way they scored, but the nuances, the different plays that they had. That it got tricky at times. You have your trick plays and your motions. And number 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he never drops the ball. So it's good to have a sure-handed receiver when you are a quarterback at number 4 on this list. Moving forward, another quarterback who Cowboys fans hate to see because he might just put half 100 up on you whenever you play. We're talking about a quarterback that is in line coming after one Hall of Famer and another future Hall of Famer now in a city that is up north.
Yeah, absolutely. So for number 3 on my list, this one also might kind of have like that. Well, at least this team, when it comes to the Cowboys playing at AT&T Stadium, especially in the playoff, the Cowboys just never, ever, ever have an answer for this particular franchise. And this quarterback is falling right in line with the quarterbacks before him. Had a little bit down year last year. The year before that, he was on a trajectory to being probably a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League, but I think he'll take that next step as well. Jordan Love, quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. I have him at number 3. Last year, 3,389 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. He is another one of these young quarterbacks who has, I call it arrogant arm talent. They have this arm talent where they make these throws. When you look at it, you gotta be like, you gotta be a surefire, arrogant mofo to think that you were gonna fit that ball in there. Well, look at here, damn it, he did it. That in that tight window on that throw, he has that level of arm talent where throws that you shouldn't make. The thing that got Jordan Love in trouble a lot last year, and in previous years before, is that when you have such a strong arm, he does this fadeaway thing where everything has to be fading away from the line of scrimmage because his arm talent is so great, but that gets him in a lot of trouble because the ball sails. It can sometimes not be as accurate. If he can just learn how to step into his throws with that level of cannon of an arm that he has, he'll have less incompletions. The ball will be in less danger, and you'll see that offense take another step in the right direction. But for me, number 3, Jordan Love.
So as we continue on, Parrish and Jesse Holley Bleav in Cowboys, going over the top 10 quarterbacks that the Cowboys will face. Now, there's a little thing going on right now. You might have picked up on it. You might not have. From 6 on, you've had Justin. You've had Jalen. You've had Jared. You have Jordan. That's going from 6 to 3, continuing with the theme, a quarterback who was once a Heisman Trophy winner, who is absolutely amazing coming in. People thought he was going to be good, but people didn't think he was going to be like that. And he is a former Heisman winner. And we're going to touch on the Heisman again in a second, but we'll come back to that. Who is that number 2 on your list?
Number 2 for me, as well as keeping on with the J theme, right? Justin, Jalen, Jared, Jordan, Jayden Daniels. Here's the number 2 quarterback for me. What a rookie year that he had, splashed on the scene as the Commanders quarterback. No one really knew what Washington was going to be. They thought, this was a laughing stock of the NFC East, and they were finished last in the division. But Jayden Daniels stepped on the scene. He paired up with Dan Quinn, and the vibes were high in DC. And he took this team on a magical ride that ended up in the NFC Championship game. Jayden Daniels, another quarterback that the Cowboys have to see, not once, but twice. But I will say this. While Jayden Daniels is still number 2 on my list, he is actually not the quarterback on his team that actually kills the Cowboys. The Cowboys play him very, very well. it's Marcus Mariota who comes in the game and kills the Cowboys and has done it last year. But Jayden Daniels last year, after his absolute great season, Rookie of the Year, 3,570 yards passing, 25 touchdowns to just 9 interceptions. And this was another one of those guys where if all else fails, scoot, he got on his scooter and rushed for 891 yards on the ground and added 6 more touchdowns. So while he can hit you in the head in the air, if you turn your back or this play breaks down, he has the speed and the agility to get out of there and make a play downfield with his legs. I know a lot of people think about his frame and his size and says, I don't know how long he can keep that up, but he did a really good job this year with kind of getting down, getting out of the way when danger was approaching. But Jayden Daniels is one of these quarterbacks that the Cowboys will have to face this year that going to give the Cowboys everything that they can handle, whether it's in the air or on the ground. You talk about scary Terry McLaurin, who he's throwing the ball to out there. I know some people are going to say Fat Debo is out there with them now, and he's not going to give them much. But Debo is a baller, man. No matter whether he think he's fat or not, he gets the ball in space, and he is a tough dude to bring down. So for me, Jayden Daniels is my number 2 quarterback on the list of the top 10 quarterbacks the Cowboys will face this upcoming season.
Talking about Deebo Samuels, who was acquired from the San Francisco 49ers. Some might call him fat. There's others who like to comment on his pre-game attire, but we ain't going to even touch that. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. You talked about the Heisman Trophy. I mentioned that actually. Marcus Mariota, another Heisman winner, came in and pretty much ended all hopes for the Cowboys to go to the playoffs last season as he came in and ran up and down the field with no problem. Talk about scary Terry, hit him for that touchdown late to end the Cowboys' hopes of going to the postseason. So just in review, top 10 quarterbacks: Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Bo Nix, Geno Smith, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Jayden Daniels. Those are our top 9. Coming in at number 1 is,
it's Jesus and shoulder pads, right? Like it's football Jesus and shoulder pad. And I don't give a damn what list you make. If you make a list and it got anything to do with quarterback in the year of 2025, number 1 on your list, if it ain't number 1 on your list is invalid. Your list is wrong. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's a guy who's entered the league, has not played in the AFC Championship game since he's been in the league. It's a guy who just has a never say die spirit and mentality. It's a guy who keeps offensive, hell, not defensive coordinators. It keeps front office people, defensive coordinators, D-back, anybody. If you're going against Patrick Mahomes, you lose sleep at night. And it will be the same thing when he comes to town for Thanksgiving.
Right. It doesn't matter if you're the secretary for the Cowboys, if you are an intern for the Cowboys, you are worrying about number 15 in red because we know what he's capable of doing.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes, man, he is a treat to watch. There's a lot of times where I'm doing film study throughout the year, and I may be watching another team that has nothing to do with playing the Cowboys, but the Chiefs will be on there, and I'll catch myself just, let me see what Patrick Mahomes is going to do right here. And I'll be 5, 6, 7 plays, and I'm like, snap back. You're supposed to be watching the defense. You watching Patrick Mahomes. You're not even playing Patrick Mahomes this week. But he is that polarizing. He is that good. He is the best of the best. And if there's anybody who will ever be able to challenge and chase down the GOAT status of Tom Brady with 7 or more rings, it is one of Patrick Mahomes. He has the ability, and as long as he is breathing, the Chiefs have an opportunity, and they will be Super Bowl contending every single year that he is under center. And so that is my list. The top 10 quarterbacks that the Cowboys will face this upcoming season. If you don't like my list, I don't really care. Make your own list. But that's my list, and that's how I feel about it. But make your own list. Shoot it to me, man. Shoot it to Bleav in the Cowboys, the Bleav Network. Shoot it to Rose. Shoot it to me. Put it in the comments. That's my list. And you got to deal with it because what you eat don't make me boo-boo.
So check this. So I'm looking at your list. I'm analyzing it. And yes, we understand that it is your list, not my list, not anybody else's list. However, we know the relationship that you have with one Ben Johnson, who is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. You once were teammates at North Carolina, repping those Tar Heels. But there's a Heisman Trophy quarterback that he has that seems to have a lot of promise. Caleb Williams is not on your list. Why did he not make the cut?
You know, the jury's still out on Caleb. Okay, the jury's still out on Caleb, and until we see how he and Ben Johnson can come together, you're on the outside looking in, right? Like, you have the potential, the all the things that are there, the talent is there. But last year, you know, you just didn't show up enough for me to get on this list. And I think Ben Johnson is going to do a fantastic job in Chicago. This is my bias. That's my teammate. That's my boy. So I'm wishing him nothing but the best. But until I see it, until I can put my brown eyes on Ben Johnson and Caleb doing something together, in good conscience, I just couldn't put them on the list because I don't know what they're going to do together. Those other guys, they're proven guys that are in this league. It's been doing this for a while. And so for me, Caleb and Ben were on the outside looking in. Hopefully next year when I do this list, they'll be firmly planted if the Cowboys play play the Bears next year, that they'll be on this list somewhere. But this year, just couldn't see it happening. And, you know, little Tink in Carolina, Bryce Young. Sorry, little Tink.
Listen, all I'll say is this. We can say what we want about Bryce Young. He's obviously had his struggles. You might talk about his size, his dimensions. However, towards the end of the season, he seemed to find something because he's out there looking like Steph Curry, throwing passes and putting his hands up while he turns around. So maybe there's something that he has in the tank that we haven't seen just yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it either way.
I am. Listen, I have nothing against Bryce Young. I hope that he puts it all together in Carolina and that thing gets rolling because, you know, there is there's a big portion of my heart that love the Carolinas, right? I'm from Jersey, but you know, North Carolina was really good to me. It's still really good to me. So hopefully the Panthers can get it together and that be on the shoulders of Bryce Young. And then the other quarterback that I left off this list,
I wasn't going to mention it, but go ahead.
People can feel how they feel about this player. I have nothing against him personally. I just don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he is an athlete playing quarterback. I think he wants to run first before he wants to pass. And so for me, Justin Fields, I just couldn't in good conscience put Justin Fields on my list. A good athlete. I think Justin Fields, he stuck to that. I want to play quarterback. Good, fine, almighty. I can tell you, as a receiver, right? I'm always going to be a receiver. I don't want my quarterback to think run first. I want you to think pass, 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 pass. Okay, now I have to run. And I don't think I'm not a fan of Justin Fields, the quarterback. And so that's why he was left off my list, and it'll probably be left off a lot of my future lists if I had to put quarterbacks on there. So those are the guys that left off my list.
Well, Justin Fields, we talked about it. He has roots that come from Chicago. We talked about Caleb Williams. Some people say, and those people can be me at times, Cleveland and Chicago, those are where quarterback careers go to die. So hopefully Justin Fields can get it together when he's playing for the Jets and Aaron Glenn. Hey, I hope the best for him. However, when things started off the way they did in Chicago, coaches changing, coordinators changing, that's not good for a young quarterback. But let's put that to the side. So looking at your list, before we get out of here, Russell Wilson at 10, Kyler Murray at 9, Bo Nix at 8, Geno Smith 7, Justin Herbert 6, Jalen Hurts 5, Jared Goff 4, Jordan Love 3, Jaden Daniels 2, and Pat Mahomes at 1. I'll say this. The only issues I have, and again, your list, not mine, I'm moving Kyler Murray up into the top 5, pushing Jared Goff up, and I'm moving Jalen Hurts up as well. So you can take Jared Goff and you can take Jordan Love. And let me say, I'm going to put Jordan Love between Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray. Simple fact, because this is a Cowboys list, Kyler Murray does not lose in AT&T Stadium. So he's going to get points because of that. And we're talking about Jalen Hurts. The Cowboys only scored 13 points against the Philadelphia Eagles last season, and that was in 2 games. So that's my only issue with your list. Other than that, I'm not mad at it. But again, like you said, it is your list.
Look at you taking up for one of the good bras. Look at you moving one of the good bras up in the list. I see you ain't slick. You ain't slick. I know the undertone of that one. I know. Shout out to the good bros. I know the affiliation there. You say, I ain't gonna leave my good bro on the outside looking at it. I'm gonna move him up in there. I get it.
It's all love, man. It's all love. But no, real talk, not mad at the list at all. Very respectable list. Again, if you got a problem with it, get at us in the comments. Let us know what you think on social media. Hey, it's about that time to get up out of here. Jesse, leave us.
You know how it is, man. We say it every single week, man. Continue to take care of your mentals and your dentals. We're still in June. This is still Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So take care of your mentals and your dentals. And remember, eliminate the contingencies.
There it is. Love, respect, and salute.